Hello aspirants, welcome to the Hi-Fi of the Day, Daily Current Affairs by Alchemy IAS Institute. I am Suhas. We are going to discuss the 5 most important news of the day. First of all, the national tragedy, the All India flight, Air India flight got crashed in Ahmedabad airport and the death toll is near to 290. Apart from that emotional perspective of this news, what we can learn from this? The UPSC relevance is this is related to disaster management and governance and science and technology infrastructure also. So the flight got crashed during the takeoff. So you look at the previous accident data of flight crashes, you can see here, even though the maximum exposure is at the cruise phase of the flight, the accident percentage is only 10%, very less. But if you look at the takeoff and landing phase, takeoff and initial climb combined, that exposure is just 1% only, but the percentage of fatal accidents is 20% at the takeoff phase, and at final approach and landing, it is 47%. Together, during the takeoff and landing, this percentage of fatal accident is 67%. So why the takeoff and landing is risky? The one reason is during this time the speed will be very slow and low power will be there. So in immediate changing of course, these things can't be done. And engine stress will be very high during the takeoff. Like maximum engine stress will be there. Maximum engine power should be there. And there is a chance of stalling at the takeoff time. Like there is a chance of stalling, and this happened here. And there are a lot of landing complexities like uh, hitting the tail rear of the flight at runways, weather, and landing complexities like bird strikes will be there, like during the takeoff time. That bird strike is very dangerous in the takeoff phase. Turbulence can be there. Bad weather is another issue, and cruise phase actually in cruise phase time also, like engine failure, due to engine failure, all this kind of thing time, uh, accident can happen. Okay, and another discussion was black box. What is actually a black box? Black box is actually the flight recorder instrument. Like it will record the data of flight. The purpose is record the cockpit audio, and it is useful for crash investigation. It is invented by Dr. David Warren in Australia 1950s after several aircraft accidents happened. There are two types of black box are there. It is colored in orange. Why it is called a black box? Because it is light proof. That light will not be entered. And there are two types. One is cockpit voice recorder, which will record the pilot audio and engine sound, and another one is flight data recorder. It will record altitude, speed, and autopilot pitch, everything. And the placement of this black box will be rear of the flight. It is the most safest place. Even if an accident happens, the black box will be safe, and it will be durable. Like it can withstand with high heat, water, and impact resistant, and it will emit a beacon even underwater for minimum 30 days. Another news is India marks a relative drop in gender parity. The gender parity, India is the lowest in South Asia. India's rank has been dropped from 129 to 131. This news is important for us. It's fact for prelims because this report, that global gender gap report, is published by World Economic Forum, and it is important in the perspective of gender mains. GS paper 1, Indian society, paper 2, governance and international reports, and paper 3, inclusive development. And the report says that the gender gap is close to 68.8% for India. And the leaders are Iceland. For consecutively 16th time, Iceland has become the first ranker, and followed by Finland, Norway, UK, and New Zealand. Surprisingly, Bangladesh has emerged as the best performer in South Asia, jumping 75 positions to rank 24 globally. And what are the criteria for this gender parity report, global gender gap report? The measures are economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. Why India's performance is low, or else like why India dropped this rank? India actually, like in the case of educational attainment, India showed a positive shift. But even though in labor participation, India's performance is same as last year. It is 45.9%. And another factor is other countries have improved much than India. Interestingly, another thing is Cropics. It's a new technology to collect the real-time data about crops, that farmers can take the photos of crops and they can use this mobile application. It is an initiative by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and it is important in UPSC perspective, fact for prelims and general studies 3, agriculture, technology and economy. So the purpose is use AI based photo analysis to assess the crop health, damage, and it is also automated into insurance scheme like Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Another news is May inflation dropped to 2.8%. One easing food price lowest since February. So the CPI, that retail inflation, that CPI in May 2025 dropped to 2.8%, the lowest since February 2019. And it's marked the 7th consecutive month of decline in the inflation. The reason is it's a retail inflation, retail CPI inflation dropping. The reason is that decline of foods and vegetables prices. The reason for those drop in price of food and vegetable is due to like seasonal variation, and government is grabbed these import duties and improvement in crop, those things. So the drop in food price, especially vegetable, 13.7%, fruits and pulses. The CPI inflation in April 2025 was 3.16, and WPI inflation at 1.17 in May 2025. And the core inflation that exclude the food and fuel remained steady at 3.07%. The core inflation is steady. Another news is ANI versus Mohang Mangal legal dispute. It's a YouTuber. What happened is the news agency ANI accused the YouTuber Mohang Mangal of using its copyright protected videos without permission. At least 10 videos has been taken down. So he went to court, and 2 cases were there in trial court for copyright and Delhi High Court for trademark infringement and disparagement and defamation. So what was the Mangal's defense? He claimed that it is a fair dealing clause of Indian Copyright Act. He used that video for us as a fair dealing, and reporting current events and criticism. Like, what is fair dealing? Like using some content for fair usage policy, fair usage for a criticism and review. And he claimed that it's de minimis principle, like that content is used was trivial and not cause significant harm. So in UPSC perspective, it is important in GS2 governance, media ethics and responsibility, GS3 IPR laws, intellectual property rights laws, and copyright law reforms, digital innovation and content regulation. So current affairs drill question of the day: under Indian copyright law, which of the following is not covered under the fair dealing exceptions? Private use, criticism, reporting of current events, commercial advertisement. So comment your answer below the comment section.